Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Right then, so let's get into the next article. Another wonderful example of the insane world that we live in right now. So, Newcastle United fan banned from going to games until 2026 over gender-critical posts after being investigated by the Stadium Stasi. And this is a lady here. She is a lesbian. And she's been banned. Now, you're probably wondering what you mean by gender critical. Well, let's get into it. So the Telegraph has broken the story of the Free Speech Union's latest case. I think it may be our biggest yet. A special unit set up by the Premier League. So it's not just Newcastle United. This is the Premier League. To root out racism was used to comb through comments made by Lindsay Smith. Here's Lindsay. A gay female Newcastle fan, to find evidence that she believes, shock horror, sex is binary and immutable. That's right. Right, should we just carry on? Because, yeah, any case, a female football fan was banned from matches over social media posts that were deemed transphobic after a Stasi-style investigation by the Premier League. So, listen here, remember, everybody who goes to watch football and spends a lot of your money, or should I rephrase that, wastes a lot of your money paying for this crap, you're now being investigated all the time. They're looking at what you're doing. A special unit set up to root out racism in the game was used to comb through comments made by Lindsay Smith, a gender-critical Newcastle United supporter. Even though the post had nothing to do with football, gender-critical people believe transgender women are not women. Miss Smith, who is gay and promotes lesbian, gay and bisexual rights and women's rights, was put under investigation by the police, the Premier League and Newcastle United after expressing strong views on trans ideology on her personal account on X, formerly known as Twitter. She's allowed to hold that view. 1984, yeah? The 34-year-old was shocked to discover the Premier League had compiled a dossier detailing where she lives, works, and where she walks her dog. The 11-page target profile, marked confidential, included data on her associated aliases and vulnerabilities. This is the Premier League, ladies and gentlemen. So you spend all that money, go and watch overrated idiots kicking the ball around the game, and all along they're spying on you just to make sure you're not doing anything they don't agree with. She was interviewed under caution by the police, and after the dossier was handed over to officers by Newcastle United, the officers took just 2 hours to inform her that she'd not committed any crime, but the club, which had spent 4 months looking into her background, revoked her membership and banned her from all games until 2026. That's right, Newcastle United have decided what you can think as a football fan. You cannot do anything other than toe the woke line, take the knee to everything, because if you don't, and they will stalk you, even listing where you walk your dog, they will ban you from football matches. I stopped watching football, going to football matches over, about 8 years ago now, because I refused to spend my money watching a bunch of idiots kicking the ball around. If I do want to go and watch some live football, I will go up the road to Solihull Moors and watch a non-league game, which is far more entertaining, doesn't cost me as much, and I can see exactly where my money is going. But now, to ban someone because you have what they clear is a thought speech issue is disgraceful. Quite rightly, she is taking legal action in an attempt to overturn the ban, arguing that her right to exercise gender-critical views is protected by law. Yes, it's called free speech. And as long as she's not inciting hatred, she's more than welcome to those beliefs. In fact, we're all entitled and welcome to those beliefs. And that the Premier League trawl on her personal social media account constitutes a breach of data protection laws. I would go even further than that. I would say it's actually out-and-out stalking. She told The Telegraph, "I'm struggling to believe this has happened to me. I think lots of us are struggling to believe that has happened to you. It's mind-blowing that they've gone to such lengths because I expressed views which I'm entitled to have on my personal Twitter account. Correct. They have behaved like the Stasi. It was being done so covertly that I didn't even know that it was happening. They kept telling me they want everyone to feel included. But it only appears if you're welcome if you follow the thought processes on everything, and if you don't, you're banned. It's sinister. I feel violated, to be honest. It is disgraceful. It's absolutely disgusting that you can go and watch a football match as long as you think correctly." Newcastle United began prying into the personal life of Miss Smith, who lives in Newcastle and runs a tea shop with her mother, after receiving a complaint from a fan who said they supported LGBTQ plus organisation and accused her of discrimination against trans people. Discrimination. The complaints included screenshots of tweets Miss Smith had posted in which she suggested the trans lobby was homophobic. It's because it is. Because it wants to turn trans the gay away. Correct. And that some transgender people were suffering from mental illness. There are plenty of them who've had gender reassignment who are now regretting it. So maybe they are. Maybe they need. Now, don't get me wrong. Not everyone. Not all of them. Okay? People are allowed to have this view, and this is what happens when you have extremists who push too far. You get a pushback. And also, no offence, if you want to be trans, and I've said this many times, you want to be trans, it makes you happy, that's good, I'm happy for you, carry on. But when you insist that I need to change my entire lifestyle, and I have to accept your choice for you, then that's when there isn't a problem. I don't have to accept that if I don't want to. I really don't, nor does anyone else. The complainant said, "If I were trans, I would feel extremely unsafe. Had I had to share a space with someone who's so openly transphobic." Many of her tweets revolve around the LGBT movement and trans exclusionary and discrimination movement of the members of the lesbian, gay and bisexual community to deliberately exclude and aim to discourage, discriminate and target the transgender community. But you're the ones doing that. The transgender community is not, rephrase that, it's not the transgender community. Let's get that right. It's not. It's the transgender activists. It's not the community. I have said many times before, and I'll say it again, I know several trans people, and they're wonderful people. They're not interested in any of this. It's extremists. It's always extremists that ruin everything for everybody else. The complaint said that Miss Swift made a mockery of the trans movement and told the club that she'd been engaged in conversations with prominent TERFs, a trans exclusionary radical feminist. No, it just isn't. And then there is a link, but there's the free speech. If you're a fan of the Premier League team and you've expressed lawful but non-woke views on social media, please click the link and you'll be on. It's on the Free Speech Union's Twitter page. That's the world we live in. That's the world that we're living in, where a lesbian has been banned from going to football because she doesn't think right. Fantastic world that we live in, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? Absolutely fantastic world that we live in. Now, as always, I keep saying, remember, as with everything in life, it's not the majority of people, it's the extremists. Just noticed my glasses are slightly skewy, and they're getting worse as I'm doing that. It would help if I did it right. There you go. I do apologise. We'll go in 3, 2, 1. Now remember, this is extremists. It's not the entire group of people. Very hard not to tar everybody with the same brush, but it's extremists. And this is, as I've said before, if you push too hard, this is what you get. Disgraceful. And let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. You know to like, share and subscribe. It says it right there at the bottom of the screen. With that, whenever you catch up with this video, I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon or evening. And with that, and as always, and until the next one, ladies and gentlemen, this is Gobster saying, I'm going to love you and leave you